Hello, and welcome to our final episode of Season 1 of Factoids. We need to decide a winner. For those who are uninitiated with Factoids, Factoids is a game between me and Keith in which we have to pass a false piece of information, i.e. a factoid, across to the other person and have them buy it hook, line, and sinker. It's 3 rounds with a tiebreaker for headline. So if we don't get any of the factoids, or if we get both factoids, then we'll judge on the tiebreaker. So, Keithy, baby, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to get this on and finish our final round of factoids? So, let's go on to actually, hang on a second. We haven't worked out who's going first or not. So because it was a draw last time because of technicality, flip a coin.
Even though I won. It's technicality, but I won.
No, you lost because we think we found out it wasn't correct. Yes, remember? So we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. So this is heads. This is tails. Which one do you want? Heads or tails? Come on.
Heads.
And it is... You get to choose first or second.
I'll go second.
Go second. Okay, so without further ado, it's on to round 1. Okay, for those watching in the replay, there is a Google Forms. You can click on the Google Forms and you can kind of play along with us. So you open up the Google form and then select what you think is correct or not correct. So this one is called The Patient Bullet. In 1883, at Honeygrove, Texas, a guy called Henry Ziegler dumped his fiancée, Maisie Tetch, I'm going to call her because I can't read her name. She was despondent and enraged. So her brother decided to kill Mr. Ziegler. Or Ziegland, sorry. Ziegland, got that wrong. So decided to kill Mr. Ziegland. So he went to the farm and shot him. But in a strange tweak of fate, the bullet passed his head, grazing it, and landing in a tree behind him. The shock knocked Mr. Ziegland to the ground. So the brother of Maisie Technor, or whatever his name is, believed that he'd killed Henry. Then he took his own life. Henry then proceeded to get up, perfectly fine, and walk away. So, years pass. And unbeknownst to Mr. Ziegland, yeah. Sorry, no, hang on. Misread that. Unbeknownst to him, the bullet was still in the tree. So, 20 years later, Henry and his son at the time decided they wanted to get rid of said tree with the bullet in. And naturally, they're Americans. So, what do you think they did? They decided to dynamite the bloody bastard. Okay. So they dynamited the tree, causing the bits of tree to fly everywhere, including the bullet, which then struck and killed Henry Ziegland.
Hang on. How did it strike him if it's lodged into a tree? Oh.
It blew the tree up into a million pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, the trouble is, right, that's almost feasible.
Almost
that
feasible.
is almost feasible. And it's not just an American thing. All men like to blow shit up.
Yeah, I know, but Americans specifically.
It is a male thing in all fairness.
All cultures. Not Western cultures, all cultures. Yeah, you give him a chance to blow up a tree. You're going to cut the tree down or detonate it?
I'm tempted to weird that it's such a weird story that could be true. So, my one then. Round one. Okay. We will call this one Pooh Squared. Yes. Right. So, in Australia, there is a marsupial called the wombat.
Okay.
And wombats do something rather peculiar. When they go to the toilet, their poo is not round. It is square. It is cube-shaped. And you can see this on the floor, and they build little piles with their poo, so like little, almost igloo shaped things to mark their territory. It also stops it rolling away, so it's cube shaped, and they can pass up to 100 of these cubes a day, almost enough to build an igloo. So there you go, wombats. Poo is cube shaped.
I call it on bollocks. Cube, straight lines in nature.
No, seriously, wombats poo is cube shaped. Telling you. And they build piles of it. They do. They use their noses and stuff and make little sort of things with it. Mark their territory.
All right. Okay. Well, that's the end of round 1. So, conclusion. Keith, are you unsure about my one or sure?
I've got a sneaking suspicion that's true.
Okay. And a square poo.
Cube.
I call bullshit. That's not square, and we know that's not square. All right. Interesting. Round 2 it is. Now, you know I'm a gamer. I like my games. Keep me entertained and stuff. Okay? But did you know, in the early 2000s, when the PS2 was launched, the Japanese military banned it initially from being exported? So, the argument was they prevented Sony from exporting the machine because they thought it might be a threat to national security. Yes, Tekken and Gran Turismo 3 might be a threat. And what it was one of the chips and the memory in there was so fast they reckon it could be used for missile guidance systems. So it was banned to be sold until they could deal with this when they spoke to the Japanese military, not the American military, because I think that one of the stories said American military. So they blacklisted a few countries: Libya, Iran, Iraq, North Korea, but it still got launched. Do you think that the Japanese military tried to ban the sale of PS2 because the chips were just too damn powerful? Just too powerful.
It did use that cell technology, but this could be an urban...
PS2. This PS2.
Yeah, PS2 was the cell chip.
No, it? 3 was a cell. Parallel processing cell chip. Had the big thing. There was a big thing in Metal Gear Patriots about.
I don't know.
I shouldn't have corrected you, actually. I shouldn't have corrected you. I should let you go with the error.
That could be a fact as well. That could be a fact. That could be a fact. Could be a fact. I can't remember which one I put down on the form. I think I know which one I put down on the form next, so I'll go with the one I think I put down on the form.
Okay.
I'm going to call this one Milky Rain. So, who doesn't remember the film Singing in the Rain? I mean, come on, it is one of the most famous films in the world. You know, that I can't remember who was the guy that danced.
No, I can't remember.
Famous film in the world. Hang on, I'm going to look up my notes. Sorry.
That's the point of having notes.
Gene Kelly, right. So Gene Kelly, as he walks through all that rain. Now, the rain is very visible on the screen, and anyone that knows anything about camera work and shooting, water, especially rain, is notoriously difficult to film, especially on a set. Especially at night, which is when the famous Singing in the Rain number is shot. It's shot at night on a studio lot in LA studios. So back in that time, the camera technology wasn't that great. So they came up with this unique way to make it really look like it was raining. They mixed milk. They made it rain milk. And that's how they got it to show. No, not chocolate milk, because that wouldn't show before. They used milk in order to show things. So basically, after the third time of dancing this thing, that set stunk.
Okay.
So that's how they made. That's how they made you see it, because it was black and white as well. There's that as well.
It was colour.
I thought it was black and white.
It's colour. I'm sure I've watched it in colour.
I'm sure it's black and white, but anyway, yeah.
First colour film. Anyway, right, okay, cool. All right, I think that sounds quite legitimate. Now, the big question for me: Was it whole milk or was it semi-skimmed?
Well, as somebody who's into their espresso coffee, it can only ever be whole milk because you can't steam. Skim milk, it's crap. Doesn't make good lattes.
Okay. All right. So you're saying it's whole milk. That's now putting me off, actually. Whole milk. The idea of whole milk is actually putting me off.
Detail.
Seriously, if it's semi-skimmed, I could believe you, because you wouldn't want it, because you'd want it in there just enough to give it the color, but not enough to give it the viscosity.
I don't know. My notes didn't go into that. All I know is that they used milk.
All right. Okay. All right. So that was round 2. Thank you. And you know what it means? It's time for headlines. Right. I'm hoping this one works, because this one is me, and this is something I found, and I found quite interesting. And here it is. It's no auto share on the thingy. That's what it is. Safety meeting ends in accident. After a safety meeting concluded at Kermit Community Centre recently, officers and EMTs were called to the scene of an accident which involved 2 men from the safety meeting. Investigating officer Lieutenant Richard Alberto, or whatever his name is, reported that when the safety meeting ended at 11 a.m., the men went to their vehicles on one man thing. The long and short of it is one man rammed into another. And it's annoying because I've realized I picked the wrong one, because I had the other one with the full story and I was going to read it because it was quite interesting.
I haven't got a story. I have just got a headline, but my one is
doesn't auto share.
Midget sues grocer, cites belittling remarks.
Okay, all right. So,
sorry.
So the woman should be in the private chat so she can judge which one was the better one.
Oh, come on. Okay. Midget sues greengrocer.
My one.
Anyway. Belittling.
Okay. You can put. All right. Okay, cool. Anyway, we will find the results in a bit. When you're done, and you've decided, put it in the private chat. Oh, hang on. Have we got? Took me a while to find the private chat. I thought that was. Oh! Woohoo! You can sleep in the bed tonight. Thanks. See, she's worried because it's like, so if I was better, then they get called bias. No. Okay, so that is the end of headlines. If it's a draw, I take it. It's looking good for me. You should have done beforehand. Round 3, here we come. Domino's, the pizza company, secretly want to be, how can I put it? Scottish. So, what does every Scotsman do? They wear skirts. We know this. That's how this is scare people in battle, by wearing skirts. Now, you can call them a kilt, but as far as I'm concerned, the kilt was the thing that went all the way over and turned into a sleeping bag at night. That's a kilt. The other things, they're skirts. Okay? So, Domino's has their own tartan. Their own tartan, Domino's tartan. Now, my brain, when I heard this, was like, I'm picturing kind of like blue, red squares with little dots in. But yeah, they've got their official tartan. The tartan was created for the pizza group. It's integrated their well-known colours, and the tartan can be used for the opening of stores all over Scotland, where members can be seen wearing said tartan. So, do you think Domino's wants to be Scottish and create their own tartan?
That is potentially true, because quite a lot of retailers have their own tartan. John Lewis has that. Yeah.
Oh, I know John Lewis has, because that's because I want to make skirts and shit out of it without having to pay anyone any money.
I can
pizza.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Scotland is the home of the deep fried freaking Mars bar.
Yeah, but you don't. Sorry, I'm not going to. I was getting this argument anyway. Don't want to give anything away. Hey.
So I call this one Olympic users, because the Olympics are on. Olympic losers pronounced dead. So in 1908, the losers of a certain Olympic event were pronounced dead. And this is because in 1908, there was an Olympic event called pistol dueling. Pistol dueling was an Olympic event in 1908. And what they would do is they would, it was all the full thing, but instead of firing standard bullets, they were bullets made of wax. It would still bloody well hurt when you got shot by this. Mm-hmm. And whoever obviously got the one, into the heart or through the head, mm-hmm. they were pronounced dead. And then obviously the other person would win. So, the bronze medalist took a bullet, but still got a bronze. But so in 1906, in the 1906 games, it was a demonstration event because sometimes.
Hang on a second.
Games...
Just whoa. Is it 1908 or 1906?
In 1906, it was a demonstration event. In 1908, it was a full-on Olympic event.
Okay, all right.
So demonstration events don't have medals; they're just events winning the Olympic Games.
Now my brain's going in multiples of 4, trying to work out if it's correct year or not.
To see the Summer Games in 90, I think. Yeah, there was a 2-year gap between the
Second World War. Oh, God. Who would have thought it? All that fighting, all that bombing, tanks. Who would have thought it? So right, so you're telling me there was? Yeah, I can believe it. Turn of the century. Guns were cool as shit, yeah, and I mean that because even in UK, you had guns everywhere. And if it was an American person who entered it, then yes, I can believe it 100%. That sounds so viable. Wax bullets, though, that's wax bullets. And being pronounced dead. Certain bits sound right, certain bits don't. Oh, that's an interesting one. Out of all the ones you've given me, that's the one that's making ponder. The Singing in the Rain one sounds perfectly logical, yeah? Whether it is or isn't, sounds perfectly logical. You sold me a good one, if that's the case, yeah? Square poo, I believe bollocks, because straight lines in nature. When you say square poo, do you mean cubes?
I mean cube-shaped poos, that's what I mean.
Cube-shaped poos? Yeah, no, it's bollocks. Yes, definitely, that's the factoid. That's it. This one's true. I believe this one. Okay. All right. So... I need to press the button. We have had our 3 rounds. If any of you have been playing along with the form, thanks. Let's go to the reveal. So, I went first. You won the toss. I can make jokes about you winning tosses all day.
Yeah, so can I.
Okay, so my first one is what I lovingly called the patient bullet. In 1883, at Honeygrove, Texas, Henry Ziegler was dumped his fiancée, and her brother shot him, missing, striking the tree, which was then blown up 20 years later, causing the bullet to fly as debris, striking Henry Ziegler in the head, killing him. Do you think that is a fact?
I think it's so outlandish that that's a fact.
I think that's a fact. Okay, yes. You ready? Time.
It's complete fiction.
Well done.
Well done. It's a famous hoax. See, I went above and beyond. There were 2. I had 2. I'm keeping the other one. The other one's chef's kiss. Brilliant. Yeah. But this one was a famous hoax because if you look back at the reporting, there is no reporting of this going on, but there is a report of people slipping this into stories. And it's one of these ones that it is a genuine factoid because it keeps getting slipped into the news, reported on, and then being discovered as false. But because our news organizations don't correct themselves, We know we don't say all these things. So yes, that was a factoid. So this is easy, right? So yeah, the PS2 was banned by the Japanese military because
See,
they were
I
worried
thought
about the
might be the factoid, but fair enough.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought that was a factoid. I thought, oh, I can get in with this one because it sounds almost true. And then I went in there because I always thought it was bollocks, and I found loads of sources. I found loads of fucking sources all over the place, and I couldn't find anything to counteract the sources. So it was like there were entries on the Register, PC Magazine, loads of places, but there was nothing countering it. If that made any sense. Good for the marketing of the PS2. You know, it's so good. They had to ban it in Iraq and Iran. Yeah, that's one. And then we've got the tartan. Do you want to see?
I knew that
see
was
what the
a
tartan
fact.
looks like.
Go on.
Do you want to see the tartan? All right, so hang on a second. Let me just screen share correct screen. Yeah, so they took the tartan on, and when I heard about this, because that's bollocks, yeah, I was like, I wonder what the tartan looks like, because I was expecting it to look like the Domino's logo, but fairly tasteful. It's fairly tasteful. Please note the following. I'm on the Scottish Register of Tartans. That's how legitimate this is. It's on the Scottish Register of Tartans. The other one was, I think I got some pictures of them wearing it said tartan as they're opening up Domino's. This is the funny thing. I think I was hungry when I was writing this. And there you go. You can see them wearing
it doesn't shock me, that one. I honestly thought it might be the PlayStation one, but there we go. I hand it to you, sir. Right.
My turn. I can fuck this
Okay,
up.
so I have
no
three.
pressure. I've
got three for you. So wombats do cube-shaped poo.
That's the one.
Singing in the Rain used milk to simulate the rain.
Mm-hmm.
And pistol dueling was a 1908 Olympic event, and technically the losers were pronounced dead.
Okay.
Which one is the factoid, Gareth?
I think it's the wombat shit because you can't pooing.
So you think that the wombat cube-shaped poo is a factoid?
If you'd have said cuboid, I would have believed you, but you said cube.
Cube-shaped. Cube-shaped. Right. You ready for this?
It's a fact.
Oh yeah, it is.
The poo.
I am showing you the poo.
I
am showing you
the poo.
Hang on.
I would never say that normally. I want to see the poo.
Stop share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Microsoft Edge. Show me the poo.
And then add screen.
So here we go. Wombat poop. Scientists reveal mystery behind cube-shaped droppings.
Hang on a second. It's not exactly cube, is it? Okay, all right. I will give you that. So it's the pistol dueling's the factoid then.
It's a fact.
So
okay. Pistol dueling. Show me pistol dueling. Come on.
I will show you the pistol dueling. I'm just trying to look this one up. Where is it? Because I couldn't remember. I've had this one. I've saved this one up for a while. Let me put this into an Edge thingy. Sorry, I was just getting that ready.
Just paste over the link on that one.
Good point. There we go. So bullet time when pistol dueling was an Olympic event.
Oh my God.
There they are in the 1908 Olympic Games in London. It was an Olympic event. Now, singing in the rain, milk. This is one of those true urban myths because I've always heard that they used milk. I've always heard it. And you know, since time thing, it was like, how did they make the rain so thin? Oh, it's milk. It's bullshit. It was a clever lighting. They used some really clever lighting above the studio and shine down on the rain, and they built the rain machine underneath, and that's how they got the rain to show up. But it's been a long time legend that they used milk.
Okay. I knew there was something wrong when you couldn't tell me what type of milk it was. Should have known that. It's obvious now when I look back at it because it's like, well, is it whole milk or semi-skimmed? And you always said, well,
I honestly, that was the one that I had the hardest coming up with. I didn't have that saved. I found that by complete accident when I was searching urban myths, and I thought that was always true. I had the other two. I had the other two stored up in my thing of, he's never going to believe that wombats cube. I thought, he's either going to know this through his own damn research.
Yeah, that's the
or he's going to think it's complete bullshit. Literally.
I think you've had a few where I've researched the same subject where I've gone, I know this one. I think it was the one with the planets between the moon. You could fit all the planets between the Earth and the moon. Because that one, I was sitting in a calf and I saw that one. And there was another one too. Okay, so.
Yes, all right.
Hang on a second. No. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The fix. It's an absolute fix. Absolute fix.
I'm just gonna let it run a little longer. Anyway, the winner.
Sorry.
Right, hang on a second. One, we haven't had a look at the comments. We can have a look at the comments before we go. Okay, now we've finished playing round 2. Pierce with Bev's true. Good luck. Good man. Knows these things. Round 2, Milk Rain fiction. See, this is why we're not allowed to read the chat. Didn't get that one, no. They're in the tartan registry. That's the weird thing. They're in the tartan registry.
There is quite a lot of retailers in Scotland that have their own tartan. Domino's, it doesn't shock me as much as it should because of just knowing that Scotland loves its freaking fast food. It loves its pizza, and they probably tried to deep fry one. I am absolutely sure of it.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Bill, for you've been playing along, even though you're fuzz ordering today. That's the big hoax one. That was the one that got me because it's a hoax that keeps flying around. It was a proper factoid. It's like you sit there and you look for facts, and every so often you hit this little nugget, which is a factoid.
Yeah, that was the Milky Rain one for me. That was a proper full. Although he picked up on it.
Pooh squared. I'm amazed that you got Pooh squared. So yeah, but me and you were definitely the one. We were definitely on the same page when it was. Because I thought it was.
Oh, you got me with that bloody Margaret Thatcher one a few weeks. I think it was round 4 or 5. You got me with that damn Margaret Thatcher one.
What was the Margaret Thatcher one?
The one Margaret Thatcher invented Mr. Whippy, which is
an
urban myth.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
I'll be honest with you. They're the ones that make the best factoids because we do the ones where we play semantic games, and we do that. Oh, it's really 1,000. Yeah, and then you have the mad ones like the chocolate milk. Still can't get over the chocolate milk. Dear America, why? Seriously, why? But it's been good. It's been good. So what we're gonna do now? So we're gonna take another break because this should have ended earlier than it did. And we're going to discuss what to do with this so we can get this, a bit more running, a bit smooth, and hopefully be a bit more enjoyable. I wonder if anyone used the thing. I doubt anyone used the link because there's a link in the bottom where you can guess what's what, and then you can see what other people thought as they were playing it too. So we're going to get these. These are going to be shifted off onto their own channel. I think it's going to be Factoids QuizCom is going to be the name. And then hopefully we'll get all this stuff pushed over there. And what we'll do is I might just slice out some of the facts and turn them into like kind of little video shorts and bits. So it's goodbye for now. But we like at the end of a James Bond film, we will return. Thank you for watching. All right, not the last one. Actually, it would have been funny if it's the last one. Anyway. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode of Factoids, which hopefully won't be too long. Bye-bye.